In order to grow, you must go. Good morning. Welcome to MelTheMessenger Live. In order to grow, you must go. Part of me wants to say you must be willing to go. Because one thing about growth that I've learned is anything not growing is dying. In order to stay alive, you gotta keep growing. You gotta keep changing. Good morning, Sonny. Anything not growing is dying. In order to grow, you must go. Go where, Mel? You may have to move out. You may have to change jobs. Leave your job. You may have to move away from your family. You may have to change states, move in a different apartment, a different house. When you feel like you're being called to go, it's because there's a growth opportunity there for you. Good morning, Mo. It's because there's a growth opportunity for you. I said the other day that when you feel like you're being called to attention, the universe, God, is trying to get your attention, it's because it's trying to get you to ascension. It's because it's trying to get you to a new level. And the only way you can receive that is to be in position for it. And sometimes your position must change. In order to grow, you must go. I'm remembering right now when I was being called out of the church. And as painful as it was, and as confusing as I felt at the time, as frustrated and hurt and angry as I was at the time, as it was, and as confusing as I felt at the time, as frustrated and hurt and angry as I was at the time, stepping back now, I know. Good morning. I was being called to go because I was being called to grow. Stepping back now, I know. Good morning. I was being called to go because I was being called to grow. And I must say that I have elevated to levels that I never thought I would even see. I never even thought about that were available to me. Because I was willing to go. Good morning, Goddess. Good morning, Layla. Good morning, Queen Belinda. In order to grow, you must be willing to go. Go where? Wherever you're being called to, whatever's calling you. You must be willing to leave what's comfortable. You must be willing to leave what's familiar. You have accomplished everything you can accomplish in the space that you're in. So it's time for you to go. Today I'm drinking the brand Twinnings. The brand Twinnings. And the flavor is creamy vanilla. Creamy vanilla. It's pretty good. It's a good wake up tea. It's light. I'm learning how to make sure I put the right water ratio because sometimes your tea can taste too watered down and then it's not as good. How are you this morning? In order to grow, you must be willing to go, people. pain equals growth. Anything not growing is dying. I truly believe that. In order to grow, you must be willing to go away from that job, towards the other job, away from that family, away from friends, away from what. I met a person that was that's in AA. I met this guy that's in the AA, and he goes to AA meetings and everything. And he I'll address that in a second. And he was sharing with me how he lost everything, and now he's in the position he's in. But it called him to grow because he had to now find a new way to survive and to thrive. He basically was put in a position where he had to only rely on himself, which is relying on God. And thank you. So it caused him to have to grow up. He couldn't just, hey, Trader Drummer, good morning, I'm glad to see you. So it caused him to have to grow up in a different direction because he lost everything that he knew that he was leaning on. You asked me, does it have to be dying? Can it not just be? If something is not growing, do you think it could just be? What plant, do you know of a plant that stops growing and just stays the same forever? Most plants, if they're not growing or thriving, even if it's at a slow pace, they die. Aloe, I don't do anything to her. She just is. Has she not grown? Is your aloe still this little? Is your aloe plant the same size it was when you got it? How long have you had it? Because I have aloe plants, and they don't look the same as I got them. That sounds like a question. Oh. If you remain the same forever, you're going backwards. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even if you have a car and you say, okay, I'm not going to drive it, I'm not going to do anything to it, and I'm just going to let it sit there, it's just being, but it's dying. The battery going to die. The air leaves the tires. It starts to rust. But plants are made to grow. That's what they do. That's who they are. You don't have to do anything to it for it to grow. Even if you don't do anything else to change your life, even if you don't do anything else, thank you, Alice the Great, thank you, Goddess. Even if you don't do if you don't read another book, if you don't work out another weight, if you don't walk another step, you can just sit there and be. But I guarantee you're going to start to deteriorate. I know this is a confusing way to look at it, if I say it the way I said it, because technically most people will get on here and say we're gonna die anyway. I would have to argue with you. Some people die, some people ascend. That's just what I got. Some people die, some people ascend. That would be my argument. That's what I would say if somebody said, well, we dying anyway. No, you dying. I'm not dying. I will live on forever. And my spirit will go forever. What are you talking about? Thank you. Thank you, Tara Johnson. Thank you, Goddess. When I say I ascend, I mean I'm gonna go beyond the grave. Some bodies die and their spirits stay dead. Some people ascend to the next dimension. Transition. That could just be the Scorpio in me that refuses to go with the status quo of what people say. You tell me I'm not going to do something, I'm going to do the complete opposite of what you said on purpose just to prove my point. But, I didn't light my candle. But, I know the difference because when I start working out, I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my body. I feel like I don't have as much strength. I feel like I don't have as much energy. I feel like I don't have as much stamina. I used to could carry the pack of water with one hand. Now I need both. You're going backwards. And one thing about it is once you start growing, it's hard to just not. It feels like I'm digressing. You and this I don't want kids is taking me the hell out. Okay, you said it again. So that's the truth. I don't have Scorpio in my chart. I feel that. You wow. So growth almost like calls you. It's like you can't ignore it. It's like, okay, I completed that level in the game. So what's next? It's like you take a little rest, but you still feel something pulling you, something calling you, and I have to answer. It's like that for me. I really don't. I did at one point, but I feel it's more for my legacy than to populate the world. It's a very selfish reason, but I do not care. Yeah, you're right, though. You can leave a legacy without kids. You can leave a legacy without kids. For the new people coming in, the message is, in order to grow, you must go. Now, you can ignore the call. People do it all the time. But in my experience, life becomes a lot more frustrating. It becomes a little bit agitating. And I like that for you. You will live beyond time. I think I read somewhere or heard something about a goldfish. If you keep them in the tank, the same tank, they can't grow, they die. Because their environment can no longer hold the capacity. If you want your fish to keep growing, you have to take it out of the tank and put it in a bigger tank. Then it adjusts to that tank, and then it goes to the next level of a tank. But I read that somewhere that if you keep them in the same size tank, they'll die sooner. Because they don't have any room to expand. So what we're talking about here is expansion. Talking about expansion. You have to expand beyond the tank you're in if you want to grow. And the goddess, I will say, you can just be. You can stay. But you have to be okay with what that looks like, you know? The issue I'm having with this is most people are complaining about the container they're in. They're complaining about the environment. They're complaining about it. If you go stay mediocre, be mediocre and be glad about it. Most people aren't glad about it. And maybe what I'm saying only applies to people with vision. Ooh. You don't want to grow if that means you probably don't have vision. So I'm probably talking to visionaries this morning. I have seen the glory of the Lord. I have seen my life at its best. I have seen my bank account at its best. I have seen my family in a certain position. I have seen it. Once you've seen it, I have to obtain it. Or I'm always going to feel like I did not complete the task. Because I have vision. I think people who don't want to grow don't have vision. And that's okay. I'm not here to say if it's good or bad. I'm just here to call a spade a spade. You elevate into divine dimension. Yes, you are. Good morning. Jerry, and good morning. So I think I'm complete. I won't say that. I'll say they're scared. People run from change. Some people don't have vision. They can't even see what they're running towards. Good morning, Brittany. Yes, fear is at the base of most non-movement. But you have to know where you're going to move. Even if you don't know how to get there. About the food stamp fraud, Susu, I don't know anything about it. That's not what my life is about. What's the word, goddess? Put it in the chat. Type it out for me so I can meditate on it. I was challenged by a random guy to elevate, and I've been thinking about it since. Yeah. Because you have vision. If you didn't, most people would have known about their day and not even thought about it. Good morning. Yeah. You wouldn't have been frustrated in the apartment y'all were in if you were content. If you didn't have vision, you would have stayed right there and been fine with however it was going. You weren't. So your soul knew, oh, you playing in my face. I'm about to get this done. You're not going to see me next month. And you went and got a house. You had out expanded the container you were in. You had out expanded the container you were in. You didn't stay on the job you was on. You went and got a new one. And you still trying to go to the top of that one. Because you out expand your containers really, really fast. Because you have vision. That's actually my fear. I won't ever be content. I'll manifest everything and still not be happy. And that's the work that you need to dig into. Not the expansion. You need to dig. Or you can be okay that you like to keep expanding. But if you're not happy in your expansion, that's spiritual work. Good morning, Shannon and Andrea. It's nothing. It's not. It's. I don't think it's about being happy or not happy. I think it's when it's time to expand, and just be okay that when it time comes, every time it's time to expand. What else you gonna do? Stay the same? Hey. Super expander. That's what you do. That's what you do. I'd rather you be doing that than nothing at all. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people walk over the same doormat every year. It's run down. The words then came off. There's no color no more. They just keep that same doormat in front of their door. I cannot do it. At least change the doormat. You can ride through a neighborhood and see who's expanding and who's not. It's raggedy. Maybe it's about exposure. Some people are exposed to more, therefore their vision grows. People with less exposure have less vision. Is it possible to say that? I had to make myself relax Sunday after the live. I was like, let's go do something. Oh, you need to get down in that work. Oh my God. You're not seeing the benefits of rest. You need to find the benefits of rest. If I told you that rest causes you to expand bigger, would your soul receive that? Movement doesn't necessarily mean manifestation. It just means you're busy. The number one spiritual practice that I would recommend anybody be able to do. I don't care how powerful you think you are, what you got going on. If you cannot sit in silence, if you cannot sit still in stillness, befriend silence, you ain't master. People think, oh, I can do more, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. If you can't do less, you ain't walking with the best. I'm telling you. That is the goal. Be able to do less, have less, say less. Ooh. Sit in stillness. What? You work less. That's where you produce from, really. Less work, more rest, and the stuff take care of itself. You get more done in 3 hours than you would get done in 8. When you know how to sit in stillness. My goodness. I used to couldn't do it either. And when I realized that I couldn't do it, it became the thing that I wanted to do. So then I just fell in love with learning to do it. And now I wish everybody would go to hell and shut up. I would rather be in quiet silence over anything. If I'm in a crowd of people, I'm working harder on the inside than if I just was by myself chilling. That's why traveling in a group is so challenging for me. I did good. I love people. I absolutely adore the presence of people. Not more than silence. I'm thinking about going to the Springs right now to connect and grow. Okay. My favorite thing to do is nothing. Oh my God. My favorite thing to do is nothing. Nothing at all, brother. That sounds good. You still gotta go to the Springs to do it, but that sounds good. Nature is never a bad place to be. Never, never, never. Okay, I'm complete. Hallelujah, I'm complete. I am complete. I'm finna go drive Uber. Meet some people. Change their life. It's not I can't get enough of being around the water. I love the smell. That's good. You definitely should live somewhere with water. I stopped for 2 seconds the other day and pulled into a little trail apart and got out and walked just 20 minutes in the trail in the woods. I came out of that woods, my soul was like, thank you, yes. So now I gotta go back because I want to do it again and take the other path. Which springs you might go to? Blue Springs? I don't even know what the springs are. Post Springs? I know Post Springs. Never mind, don't tell me. I don't want nobody to follow you out there. Love you to life. Talk to y'all later. Oh, I'm not even scared. I know you're not. I know you're not. Poe. That sounds good though. I ain't even finna lie. I've been wanting to go to the beach. Yes, indeed, you are. I'm wanting to go to the beach. I'm gonna just bust out and take me a ride one day. Love you, goddess. Stay elevated. I don't like the beach. The sand makes me, I don't know how to. You don't like the sand. The ocean water, though. Oh my God. I just feel like I'll be out there in the middle of God. I understand the sand thing, though. The last time I went to the springs, that water was so cold. Jesus. I got in though. I just had to jump in there. That sounds good. I hope you do that. That's so sweet. You would cry like me. I'd be crying. I feel like such a little baby when I do, but it's so pure. Cleanses my soul really good. I don't let my emotions out to people, so I let them out to God. That's where they belong. That's where they go. That's so sweet, OD. You gotta make me cry. I'm finna go. I'm finna go. Love